Hey, this is NBA shooting coach Dave Love. Thanks for submitting your video. We're going to spend a little time. We'll go through, about 10 minutes of looking at your shot. At the end of the video, I want to make it really clear about like the one thing for you to focus on. I don't want to give you 8 things to think about and then expect you to master 8 new habits all at once. We want to identify the biggest win, and then I'll give you the recommendation of an optional program that you can purchase to work on that habit. Okay, we'll talk about all the good habits and the bad habits that I see, but then we'll really try and nail down like your biggest win will be improving this habit. Okay, so kind of follow along with me. We're going to start with your feet. Really like them. If you're this wide stationary, then we're probably in great shape when you start moving. So most coaches say get your feet shoulder width apart. I say get your feet hip width apart. You can see they're the same thing. It's just when you look down at your feet, you can see your hips. And when almost no matter how you look, you'll never be able to see your shoulder. So I don't know why we picked shoulder width apart as the reference point. I measure from the insides of the feet. So I want to see this distance about the same as that distance. You can see you're really close and you're shooting a stationary shot. So I would guess as you start to move, your body's instinctively just going to go a little bit wider, which is where we need to be. You're on great balance for a stationary shot. You're probably going to be on great balance when you start moving as well. So keep that habit. Feet basically pointed at the target, maybe the slightest of turns and maybe a little bit more with that left foot, but not so much that I'd worry. Here's the big concern with your feet. What direction is your center of gravity moving as you're shooting the basketball? Your center of gravity is moving that direction, and that's about it. Your feet land in the same spot, so it's moving up and down, which means your hand, while trying to snap the ball that way, is just moving up and down. Nothing is moving sideways. The more you turn your feet, the more your center of gravity is moving this way. Now your hand is moving this direction while trying to shoot the ball that direction. We got to be careful of that, okay? So you're in a good position here. You have good habits. Just pay attention, especially as you start to move. Are you able to land basically in the same spot? If you jump forward, maybe not perfect, but the best bad thing that you can do, because at least the energy is being created towards the rim. So we want to minimize a forward jump so that we're not changing the direction too much, but yeah, I'm talking too much about things that you don't do anyways. All right, grip on the basketball. Good shooting hand position to start. Good guide hand position to start. Maybe a little bit over on the guide hand side of the body, so I'd watch that a little bit. What I try and tell players to do, just sort of get the ball on the shooting hand side of middle. But you're close to that. Now, this is where we're going to spend some time. So you have the ball over on the side of your head, which means the ball is not on the same line as your eyes are on. So you're aiming along this line, but you're going to be shooting along this line, and you can see they're slightly different. Okay. Now, is this going to cause like 50? Are you going to miss half of your shots because of this? No. Will it help you make 1 or 2 more shots out of 100? Possibly. So we want to just see, can we get that ball and that set point a little bit more online with your eyes? Okay. Now, some people will say, well, wait a second. Then as I lift, the ball is going to be in front of my eyes. I won't be able to see. Well, the way that you're doing it, what's in front of your eyes right now? Probably your hand and your arm. So something is always going to be going in front of your eyes. It happens so quickly, or we don't even realize it. So yes, it might feel a little bit different in the beginning, but don't stop doing it because something's in front of your eyes. Something is always in front of your eyes, and the ball will move through your field of vision so quickly that in time you won't even see it. You won't even realize it's there. Okay, get the ball a little more online with your eyes. Now, the other reason that we want to get the ball in line with our eyes a little bit more and off your shoulders is, can you see here how your hand is sort of in that kind of a position. Let me remove that. Can you see how more of your hand is over on this side of the ball than that side? And if you lifted straight up in the air, can you see how your hand is going to push the ball slightly to the left as we're looking at now, or slightly to the right for you as the shooter? Okay, that's what we really want to try and focus on. We want to see if we can get that shooting hand more right underneath the middle of the ball, which means your pointer finger is probably going to be on the center of the ball there and parallel to the target line. I'm guessing right now your middle finger is closer to the middle of the ball and is probably on just a slight angle. We'll see that when we get to the view from behind. Okay, so set point, we want to make sure that we move that closer to the middle of the basketball. Okay, and it might even be a little bit more over here on that particular shot. Now let's get to the side view, because I think we're going to see another part of the set point. So see how far back the ball is behind your head, or over top of your head. Because of that, the ball has to significantly change direction. If we watch the path of the ball here, you're making a path like that. Okay? If you imagine the ball as a race car, where is the race car probably going to get in an accident if it gets in an accident? It's going to go around here. And right there, that's where the accident is going to occur. Okay? We want to try and take this, in racing they call it a chicane. I just like that word, so I work it in any time I can. We want to take this chicane and make it a more of a straightaway. Ideally, we want to try and get to that. This is probably not realistic, but that is. Okay, that's what we want to try and get the path of the ball to look like. This race car can accelerate through all of that. Okay, and because the change of direction is much smaller, there's less chance that it's going to get into an accident here. So that set point, I want you to keep the ball in front of you, and I want you to feel like you're kind of getting into this position. Your hand is still underneath the ball, slightly towards the back. Your elbow is still low so that we have room to lift it to generate power. Okay, but that ball stays in front of your eyes so that we're able to follow kind of that path instead of the one that you follow, which is that big change of direction here. Okay? Keep that ball in front of you at your set point. Now, okay, we're going to go to the view from behind. I want to see the fingers there. Okay, so index finger on the middle of the ball there. But then right in here, there's a big twist. Okay, now you got middle finger on the middle of the ball, and thumb way over there, pinky probably more like there. Ball's getting ready to go that direction. You can see just that release. Even at the release, you've got even your middle finger is over on the left side of the ball. So we got you probably feel the ball come off your middle finger and your ring finger. And we got to get that to more like your index finger, your pointer finger. So in an ideal grip for most people, and we'd measure your hand if we're doing this in person, but 95% of people I find are in this kind of a position, or need to be in this kind of a position. Index finger, pointer finger on the middle of the ball here. Thumb spread out wide, and then these fingers comfortably wide. And when we do that, we end up with index finger, or a thumb supporting the left side of the ball, finger supporting the right side of the ball, middle of the hand pushing the middle of the ball all the way through, and the ball going straight more often. So that's what we kind of want to work towards, is seeing if we can get that index finger, get the ball coming off the index finger more, way over on the side. So I haven't seen the result of this shot. I'll be shocked if you don't miss this to the right, just given how far over that that even your middle finger is over on the left side of the ball. This ball, that's right, not as much as I expected it to be. So if we can get those working for you a little bit better, the set point is your focus. Okay, trying to get more in line with your eyes, more of your index finger on the middle of the ball, and way further out in front of you. I'd recommend my program, Fluidity and Arc. If you go on CoachDaveLove.com/store and look for Fluidity and Arc, that will give you enough to help you get the index finger on the middle of the ball, but then with a heavy focus on keeping the ball traveling in a straight line through your set point rather than changing direction at the set point. All right, CoachDaveLove.com/store, Fluidity and Arc if you want. That's an optional program. You don't have to buy it. All right, good luck.